Today, a great record is brought before us. The roll of honour of this club is unveiled. Each name that is written upon it brings to some one of you who hear me a memory which I think must be more precious than any gift that could be given to you, except the gift of one more sight of the kinsman or the friend. But not to you alone are these memories precious. We also, even if we did not know them, are proud of our fellow citizens. Nay, there is not a man, woman, or child in the land who does not now, who for many a year to come will not, honour the men and the boys who went forth not knowing whither they went, and gave for England all they had to give. 4 or 5 years ago, what did each one of these think would be the course of his life? And most, I suppose, thought of years spent in some honest work or trade, of a wife, home and children, a quiet old age, and a grave among those he had known. Even to those who had planned something more adventurous, a life overseas, or the career of a sailor or a soldier, it did not seem the most likely thing that they would die a death of violence. There came a day which changed all that. A day when it became clear that if honest work and peaceful homes were to continue in England, the men of England must fight. So for dear honour's sake, and for the love they bore you, they went out, and some lie in foreign earth, and some in deep waters, and if they have helped to keep homes for others, they have none themselves. But is that so indeed? Or is not this rather the truth? God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. Among much else that this war has taught us is its lesson about the dead. It has not lifted the veil and shown us what they do and what they know in the other life, but it has forced us to think of them. As we read of the hundreds who are hurried away daily, most of them men only at the beginning of life, we become sure that their story is not finished. How then shall we think of them? The greatest Englishman, perhaps the greatest man who ever wrote of the lives of men and women, I mean Shakespeare, has shown us one way. He has drawn a picture of an old soldier who brings his young son to fight his first battle against an unjust and cruel king. At the end of the day, when the cause of right has gained the victory, one comes and tells the old man that his son is missing, and while he is yet speaking, another comes and tells him that he is dead. All the father asks is whether the boy had wounds in his front. Aye, on the front is the answer. Why? Then God's soldier be he. Now, what do you think the old man meant by these words? Perhaps just this, that he was content to entrust his son to the keeping of a faithful Creator who had given him and now called him back. Perhaps also there's present this other thought, which is put into words by another great poet, writing of the Duke of Wellington. We doubt not that for one so true there must be other nobler work to do than when he fought at Waterloo. There were other battles to be fought in good causes under the banner of God, and the boy was now enlisted in that service. There he would be trained under the eye of a great commander, till he was fit to bear his part in the fight which, age-long though it be, will yet have an end, when the king has put all enemies under his feet. But not all at once would he be fitted to fight, much less to bear command. We have learned in these days that the laws under which the world and our lives are ruled work gradually. And although the change of death is a sudden one, and the greatest that is possible to us, we do not and cannot think of it as making those whom we have known into wholly different beings. They are not at once made all-knowing and all-powerful. They have much to learn, and it cannot be otherwise, much to unlearn and to be sorry for. For the dead remember. When the only one returned from among them who has returned, did he not remember Mary Magdalene and Peter and Thomas? Is it possible that anyone can be punished or made happy for having done that which he cannot remember? And is it not true that if we and they are not to keep the memory of our life together, of happy times and of sorrows, we should not care to meet again? We should not even care to live again. It is then somewhat thus that I think of our dead. They are God's soldiers as they were the king's. They are training for the front. The things for which we held them dear, their kindness, truthfulness, courage, unselfishness, cheerfulness, these are being bought out. That which was faulty in them is being done away. The time will come when they will be able to help other souls. It may be the souls of the very men whom they but now fought and slew, to better knowledge and clearer sight. And yet we do not fear that when we meet them, though many years may lapse first, they will have passed out of our reach. They are still human souls, and still ours, if indeed we loved them. I've desired to say something which might guide you in your thoughts and hopes of those whom you no longer have with you. To us Christians, the sum of our thought about the dead is that they are alive, that they are the same persons as they were on this earth, and that we have a prospect of meeting them again. These things we believe of all the dead. But of those who have fallen and who will yet fall in this war, and I care not on which side, so long as they have fought honourably, and not least of those whose names are upon this roll of honour, we dare to say that it is well with them. To leave this world by the path of duty and self-sacrifice is not the worst thing that can befall a man. Be it flood or blood the path that's trod, all the same it leads home to God. Be it furnace fire voluminous, one like God's Son will walk with us. To go to school once more in the new life, to have the crooked things of the old life made straight and the blind eyes opened that they may see and desire the things that are more excellent than the best that we dream of here. This is what we pray may be granted to every human soul. It is what we desire for our own souls. And it is what these have gained, who we commemorate today.